Hi everyone, calling to order the Board of Commissioners in our scheduled business meeting on Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 1:05. Today we have Commissioner Nichols in the room today and myself, Commissioner Minty, chairing the meeting. If we could start by rising for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Haley, are there any changes to the agenda for us to note?
No.
And Commissioner, are there any concerns about me marking meeting minutes from last time as approved? All right, great. So next we would take public comment. I don't have anybody signed up for public comment and we don't have anyone online, but I'm just double checking. Okay. No public comment then today. So we will move straight into, we have one item under prior approved. For those that maybe aren't with us every time, this means we approved this in a separate public meeting, but not this meeting, and we'd like to read it into the record formally in this meeting. So item 7.1, if you're following along, was an item that originated from our juvenile department. The issue was approving the grant agreement 15494 with the Oregon Youth Authority for fiscal year 25-26. We were awarded this grant for materials to supply the new Klamath Crimson Rose facility opening in July, which is now of this year. And so a motion was made in our June 30th, 2025 work session to approve that grant agreement. Again, the number is 15494 between the Juvenile Department and OYA. The fiscal impact is $250,000 grant revenue to the county. Now we will move into item 8.1, Public Works. I see the director is here. And 8.2.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
The commissioners have before you a bid and award for a snowplow truck, which is our 10-yard plow sander combinations. We have approximately 20 of those trucks. This one's replacing, I believe that we're replacing a 2002 or 2003 truck that we've had for 22 years. And we do that in order to keep our fleet age relatively new. We're getting 20 plus years out of these trucks, but they are getting harder and harder to find parts and replacement for. And when they break down in the wintertime, we certainly want to minimize those delays and getting out and plowing roads for the people to get to work and school buses and all of that. So item 8.1 is for the purchase of a 10-yard plow sander truck for $353,033.
I'll make a motion the board approve the purchase of one new 2025 Freightliner dump truck with spreader and plow from Premier Truck Group out of Portland and authorize the department head to sign the purchase agreement. The fiscal impact is an expense of $353,033 from the Road Department Equipment Reserve Fund.
Second. So we have a motion now for our consideration. If there's discussion, I will have that, and if not, I will have us vote.
I appreciate that we can get 22 years out of a piece of equipment that we run hard on, rough conditions and rough roads and doing tough work. And I think that's a testament to your department's ability to maintain equipment. And I think it's a testament to the benefits of maintaining our own equipment and our own fleet.
Yes, and thank you. I'll pass it along to the mechanics. And we do keep these as spare trucks for another 3, 4, or 5 years because we have 20 or 19 other really old trucks. And so it is nice to have these spares on hand to rapidly rotate them in when there's an emergency.
Okay, thank you for those comments. Hearing no other discussion, I will call the question. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Next item, please.
8.2 is a safety improvement along 2 county roads. We are installing guardrail on Sprague River Road at the intersection of Pine Ridge Road. We're also installing guardrail on South Chiloquin. There's a 90-degree corner that's above Highway 97 on a really sharp corner that is icy in the wintertime, and so we've had cars go off that slope. There have been fatalities at both of these locations in the past, and we applied for an ARTS grant, an All Roads Transportation Safety Grant, several years ago from ODOT, and it was for this STIP cycle, as they call it, which is a 3-year window of time that the funding's available. We got all of the permitting out of the place. We had a public bid in local newspapers and on the county website, and the low bidder was Coral Construction Company for $137,777. So for your consideration is the award of the contract to Coral for the 2 guardrail projects.
I'll make a motion the board approve the bid award from Coral Construction Company for the 2025 guardrail improvements in Sprague River Road and South Chiloquin Road. The fiscal impact is none.
Second. We have a motion for our consideration now. If there is discussion, I will entertain that, and if not, I will call the question. Okay, let's vote then. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Jeremy, you additionally, if I skip ahead in the agenda, you have 11.1.
Yeah, great. That's for the agreement between us and Coral for the guardrail improvements for the project that we just awarded. And again, just reiterating that this is 100% reimbursement. We do have to take the $137,000 out of our road funds, and then we get reimbursed by ODOT through the ARTS grant when the project's finished.
I'll make a motion the board approve and sign a contract between Klamath County and Coral Construction Company for the 2025 guardrail improvements, Sprague River Road and South Chiloquin Road projects. Fiscal impact is $137,777 expenditure from the road operating budget.
Second. So we have a motion for consideration unless there's discussion.
Yeah, I would just like to say, and I've said this before, but having responded to crashes at both of those locations and fatalities at both of those locations, I think this is a big public safety improvement for our roads and our citizens, and the fact that we were able to do this through a grant is a testament to your department and your work and the other people in the county that work on these, so thank you.
Well said. Okay, let's vote. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy. We'll go back up in the agenda to resolutions. Item 9.1 is under our Developmental Disabilities Department. This is the matter of a resolution adopting the following policies for the Developmental Disability Services Department: the appropriate professional boundaries policy, the mileage policy, and the progress note policy. These policies apply to the DD Services Department and were developed to address operational challenges and strengthen departmental standards. The vehicle use policy offers a booking system and mileage reimbursement to address ongoing issues with fleet vehicle security, while the progress note policy ensures timely billing and funding by formalizing case note submission requirements. The boundaries policy provides clear guidelines for ethical conduct and relationships with clients, supporting both staff and the vulnerable populations we serve. I move that we approve and adopt the attached resolution adopting the following policies for the DD Services Department. Again, it's the appropriate professional boundaries policy, the mileage policy, and the progress note policy. No fiscal impact.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for consideration. Any discussion today? We discussed this in a previous meeting.
Nope.
Okay, all in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. We'll move into item 10.1 and 10.2. These are the matter of appointing Rodney Powell and Lori Powell to the Jack Pine Village Special Road District Board. That board has vacancies and has recommended the above named applicants who are willing, able, and eligible to serve a term. I move that we approve and sign the attached order appointing Rodney Powell and Lori Powell to the Jack Pine Village Special Road District Board. No fiscal impact.
Second.
We have a motion now to vote on. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. And 10.2 is the matter of appointing Andrew Hartnett to the Law Library Advisory Committee. That committee has a vacancy and the above named applicant is willing, able, and eligible to serve. I move that we approve and sign the attached order appointing Andrew Hartnett to the Law Library Advisory Committee. No fiscal impact.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion now for our consideration. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. 11.2 and 11.3 are both public health. I see the director is here.
Good morning or afternoon, I
Yeah.
guess.
This first one is the matter of approving a grant award from the Roundhouse Foundation. We've been awarded $10,000 from the Roundhouse Foundation to support La Patrona, the Spanish radio station, in partnership with the Hispanic Health Committee. The funding will be used to support radio spots for smaller partner agencies that would otherwise be unable to participate.
I move that we approve the grant award from the Roadhouse Foundation to Klamath County Public Health, fiscal impact $10,000 revenue to Sub-Department 4039, authorizing Department Head Jennifer Little to sign.
Second.
We have a motion now. Any discussion before we vote? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Another item is 11.3.
This is in the matter of approving a provider participation agreement between United Healthcare of Oregon Incorporated and Klamath County Public Health. Since 2015, we've contracted with UHC to provide healthcare services for their members. This updated agreement ensures that provider participation agreement stays aligned with current operations, industry standards, and regulations. This participation and associated rates are originally negotiated with UHC are not changing. This agreement is effective on July 1 of this year and will remain effective for an initial term of 3 years, after which it would automatically renew for successive 1-year terms.
I move that we approve the provider participation agreement between United Healthcare of Oregon, Inc. and Klamath County Public Health, no fiscal impact. This also authorizes the Department Head Jennifer Little to sign.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion now. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, 11.4. We have this listed as Dawn from grants, but it also has to do with GIS. So Dawn, were you going to do it or do you want Erica to do it?
I'll do it, but
Okay.
if there's any questions.
Then we ask Erica. Okay, great.
I've actually got 4 things, so I'm gonna do all of them.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Actually, 11.5 kind of maybe should be done before 11.4.
Okay. Look at you just changing my agenda from afar. That's
With your honor's permission.
yes.
It's probably Haley's fault for putting them out of order.
Yeah, it sounds like it's Haley's fault.
So they're both related. So together with with Erica, we applied for a grant. She wrote a grant and got funded $29,100 from the Oregon Department of Revenue, or MAP, to reformat some maps, right? And so the first 11.5 is to enter into the agreement with State of Oregon, but then the bulk of the work will be done from some professionals in Polk County, so we're also entering into agreement with them, which is 11.4, out of the funds from 11.5, so.
I move that we approve and authorize the chair to sign the Oregon Department of Revenue ORMAP Intergovernmental Agreement Contract PO 15000000049,632. Fiscal impact, $29,100 increase in revenue to the GIS Internal Services Department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion now. Do we have any questions for Dawn or GIS, which is Erica?
Yes, Erica, if you don't mind.
Uh-oh, Erica, come on up.
And just giving, us and the public a brief wave-top explanation of what this grant is doing for GIS ARC maps.
Okay, so currently all of our tax lot parcel data is within Esri ArcMap software, which is being discontinued in 2026. And so to move forward in GIS and our programs for the public and for the county, we need to transfer all our data to the new Esri software, which is Arc Pro. So all of our parcel data will be transferred to the new updated software through Esri. So the public and the county departments won't see a change. It's just strictly like software. And
So when we go into GIS on the website, it's still seamless?
yeah, it'll still look the same. We will be updating those apps that you guys use to it'll have it'll be more user friendly and kind of some more options and features. But as far as that, but that'll be kind of a slow rollout. Okay. So we'll give a notice and say like, hey, this Land Explorer, if that's what you use, will be being upgraded, and we'll still have options for help if people need help or
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you wanna talk about why Polk County's, do you wanna talk
Well,
about?
Erica, stay there. Let's vote on that one and then go to the other one. So we had a motion on the table. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Okay, why don't you two tackle the Polk County one?
Okay, so do I just read it? Okay, so Klamath County has applied for and been awarded an Oregon Department of Revenue or MAP grant to convert and update tax lot information from ArcMap to ArcPro Fabric formatting. Klamath County will use the professional services of Polk County to do the bulk of the required work. This intergovernmental agreement represents the arrangement between Polk and Klamath counties. The total value of the award is $17,100.
And I will move that we approve and authorize the chair to sign that IGA between Klamath and Polk County. Again, that fiscal impact is $17,100 from the GIS Internal Services Department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have questions of Erica and or Don on this side?
I guess, again, to explain to the public and us the Polk County relationship on this.
Okay, so the Polk County relationship is they have Dean Anderson, who's been with Polk County for a long time, and he's already helped several counties, including Polk County, get upgraded into this new software. So through conversations with Dean and just my own personal belief in him, I think he'll be able to just do a really great job with all the background knowledge that he has going forward to get us into the Pro Fabric.
Awesome. Well, thank you to Polk County too, and collaboration between counties.
Yeah, I'm actually, this is funny. I'm on a task force with him related to emergency management, and he
Oh.
is fabulous.
He is
So,
great, yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so hearing no other question or discussions, I will call the vote. All in favor signify with an aye.
All right.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thanks, Erica. So Dawn, you stay because you have a few more items. Let's go back to 11.6.
So this one is another well grant, but this one's not the typical one that we do. You know that we have the drought. They got this drought going on. And consequently, Klamath County received a grant years ago to address residential wells that were going dry and to help remediate those. One of the provisions in the contract with OWRD allows for the development, for costs associated with the development of a well drilling program, is how it's phrased in the contract. Just so happens that KCC is standing up one of those programs right now. So we collaborated with KCC, got together and talked, and we're going to have a partnership with them to help fund the startup for their apprenticeship, well drilling apprenticeship. Mark Griffith is here from KCC if you have any questions that I also can't answer.
Yeah, well, let me make the motion, and then I actually do have a question of Mark. So I will move that we approve and sign the IGA between Klamath County and Klamath Community College with a fiscal impact of $500,000 from the Commissioner's Miscellaneous Grant Fund.
Second.
All right, we have a motion for our consideration. It's not like a hard-hitting question, but just can you give us an update on the program? I think people would love to hear about that.
Absolutely, yeah. The program is partially underway. Our first lift for the program launch is to build the curriculum. We intend to launch this program as a statewide apprenticeship program and serve the entire state to train the next generation of well drillers in the state of Oregon, because the loss has been so heavy in that trade. So we're kind of at the final phases of our curriculum. Our next step is to go to BOCC for approval of the actual committee and the program as it stands. We hope to launch by fall. If we don't get through BOCC in time, the latest that we expect to launch will be for winter term.
Okay, any questions?
I've got several things I'd like to talk about on this. One, and question, because I think it's important for viewers and the public to understand, is this increases capacity, not just locally, but statewide, or has the potential to increase capacity for this trade, which my understanding is there's not a lot of capacity in the state of Oregon, and it's really hard to get a well drilled in the first place. So I think it's exciting that we're doing this here at home locally, and that we're doing this off a grant. So thank you to KCC and all the work that you've put behind this. And then kind of a challenge to both us, Klamath County, and KCC is we've also done a pilot program for managed aquifer recharge, or we've done a study for it, and the next phase would be a pilot program for managed aquifer recharge, which is really important that, in my view, we get ahead of on a local level, working on our groundwater, understanding our groundwater and managing it, so big brother or big sister doesn't come do it for us. And part of that, I've been in conversations with the Klamath water users, my predecessor, former Commissioner Hensley, OWRD, regarding potentially partnering with this program at KCC and drilling some pilot wells within Klamath County to monitor our groundwater aquifers as part of that program, moving forward into a pilot to work on managed recharge of the aquifer. So I think this is another area we can collaborate multiple people to work on issues that are near and dear to all of us, i.e. natural resources, water. So Mark, Don, thank you all for the work in this department, and the challenge moving forward is let's see how we can leverage this into more areas locally.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Commissioner Nichols. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have been talking about this for, I mean, you were on some of the initial calls when we were in the emergency response about the dry and domestic wells, and it's hard to imagine now. Oh, it's not hard to imagine. It almost seems like a long time ago to remember how desperate we were for well drillers and how that was such a key portion of the problem. We had the natural part, the drought, but the inability to get well drillers was like a close second in terms of causing the problem. So it's amazing that KCC has stepped up in this big way, because that was a huge issue. So very excited. All right, no other discussion. Let's vote. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
And Dawn, we sort of know this one because we have talked about it a lot of times. So I'll kind of help out, but if you're here for questions, if needed. So 11.7 is the one that we do almost every week related to that drought and the domestic well grant program. It looks like this week we have Mark and Catherine Reed. We're eligible for $40,000 in assistance. So I will move that we approve and sign the Klamath County Domestic Well Financial Assistance Grant Agreement with the above recipients' fiscal impact $40,000.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for consideration. Any questions of Dawn on this one? Okay. All in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we just have a couple more items that I'll read into the record. Item 12.1 is the matter of approving a recommendation for a new liquor license for the Crater Cider Company. The OLCC verifies that the above-named business has met the necessary conditions to sell liquor. The county's position is recommendation only. The OLCC may take that into consideration before granting or refusing the license. This is noted for the record. The fiscal impact is $25 for the new license from the General Fund Commissioners. And 13.1 is the matter of authorizing Commissioner Nichols to sign the delegation of authority for the Elk Fire Conflagration Form. That fire started on July 8, 2025 in the Blind Mountain area off of Elk Lane and Hummingbird Drive. The delegation of authority form delegates full authority and responsibility for managing the fire suppression activities to the incident commander within the framework of law and the direction provided by the Oregon Office of the State Fire Marshal and by the jurisdiction administrator or the designee. I will move that we approve and authorize Commissioner Nichols to sign the delegation of authority for the Elk Fire Conflagration Form.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for consideration. All in favor signify with an aye, please. Aye. Chair votes aye, motion passes. That concludes the numbered portions of our agenda. Item 14 is the ability to provide commissioner reports if so desired.
So did I.
Okay, go for it.
So this last week has been one of my more contentious weeks since being in office for a number of reasons. And like I do most nights, I spend a lot of nights up late researching, thinking, and going over everything that comes through our office. And this week in particular being a bit more tougher to me, something that kept popping up in my head was a quote from President Kennedy that he gave during his moonshot speech, which is, something along the lines of we don't do these things because they're easy. We do these things because they're hard. And I think that really rings true to public service and the jobs that all of us do and all of our public servants within Klamath County and the greater area. Every day we face challenges, and we don't do this because of the pay or because it's easy or because it's fun. We do it because of our sense of duty, because it's hard, and we want to make our community better. And some of those things that I've worked on and been a part of over this last week is the wildfires we've had. I think it's important to talk about those. We had the Elk Fire. We currently have the Hagglestein Fire. That Elk Fire impacted many of our residents. I'd like to give a big thank you to our local fire crews and everybody that worked on that, and our state and regional partners that all came together to quickly get a handle on that fire. I was able to go to many of the briefings and express thanks on behalf of the citizens personally. I was also able to visit the evacuation shelters and talk to the citizens affected and how it was affecting them. And I'm proud to see our community come together and get behind each other to attack these problems, like in this case fire, and to take care of our citizens as well. Last week it came up for the first time really since budget committees, but we're back into talking about the budget. We had some major impacts to Klamath County out of the state's community correction budget, some unknowns with regards to grants within the community corrections arena, within the juvenile arena. And we've started to have some really tough conversations, and we'll continue to have some really tough conversations regarding our budget. I think it's important that we really look at those mandated services that we need to give our county and focus on maintaining those services to our people. There's some things that are near and dear to me that have come up this last week, and a lot of it's holdover stuff from prior to me even getting here, but stuff that I was intimately involved with. And we've had a lot of fires come up and litigation come up recently related to the previous sheriff's administration. And I think that it's important that even though a lot of time has passed and people maybe have forgotten about some of these things that have happened, they still happened. And they affected our community-wide, they affected individuals. And I haven't forgot that. And I've continued to push for accountability and reforms related to these things of the previous administration, and some of them are starting to happen. So there is movement forward toward accountability and ensuring we're changing how we do business so we don't make these mistakes again in the future. I got to spend some time up in North County. I went up and did a radio show and talked to a bunch of citizens up there about the issues they're facing in North County. It's always good to get out in the county. Obviously, I got to get out to the Bonanza area, other than the fact that I live out there. I also got to get out and talk to people affected by the fires, and so it was great to get up into North County too. I got to go talk to some citizens individually about some issues they're facing in their neighborhoods, and so that was good. My final thoughts, I guess I will leave the public with, is that throughout my campaign, one of the things that I stressed was transparency in government, and the events of this last week, I've pushed for that, and I will continue to push for that. I will continue to push for a government that is transparent, that is efficient, and that meets the needs of our citizens, vice the needs of individuals. So with that being said, even though it was a tough week, I'm optimistic of the future, and I think that we're really headed in good directions despite all of the challenges. And again, we don't do this stuff because it's easy. We do it because it is hard. So that's what I got.
Okay. Just a couple notes. I had the opportunity to be part of some conversations in Chiloquin last night related to, they received a pretty large Travel Oregon grant to really highlight that area. Very excited for that community. And it's just one of those communities that is always doing things. I mean, they're talk about like being positive and proactive. So it was a member of the Chiloquin City Council who I think wrote the grant, but there's going to be a lot of videos and other outreach and marketing really specifically related to sort of the greater Chiloquin area. And I'm just really excited for them to show off some of, hands down, some of the most beautiful spots in the county. So good for Chiloquin for that. I had the opportunity to spend some time with the new development director for the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Oregon. And there's probably, in connecting the dots, there's probably going to be some pretty good opportunities for our area that they really focus this particular sort of arm of the USDA. The USDA has 17 departments under it, but this particular arm focuses on utilities, including geothermal and housing and business development. So one of the cool things about this job is, in my mind, is getting to, well, two things: be a problem solver and connect dots. And I feel like having this new sort of relationship with the USDA is going to help us do some of those things. Additionally, last week I had my commission meeting for my service on Business Oregon. I think I've been on that commission for, I don't even know, 5 or 6 years now. Most of that meeting was talking about how, just coming out of the session and the budget impacts, and fortunately, for all the maybe things that the state legislature did this year that we weren't excited about, one thing I am excited about is they kept Business Oregon pretty whole. And the reason why I think that's really important is it's really important to keep supporting business development and business support and help for entrepreneurs and on and on and on in this state. So the fact that Business Oregon made it out of this session fairly unscathed makes me really pleased. And maybe the last thing that I'll share as I wrap up is the brain trust, if you will, around animal services, whether it's animal control and other issues that have a nexus to animals in this county, that I launched and formed, kicked off, and we have our second meeting this week. And I'm just really thankful to that group of citizens for participating in trying to make our government better. And so with that, I will adjourn us at 1:34.
All right.
I'm not playing anymore.